Hello guys, it's that time of year again, and we're going to be talking about the films that are coming out in the next 12 months. And then I just narrowed that long, amazing list down to 10. It was the hardest thing I had to do because there's so many good movies that were coming out this year, and I just picked the top 10 I thought I would watch in a split second. And it got really difficult because my entire mentality was like, okay, if I could watch a movie this year and then die tomorrow, what would it be? And that's all I could do. And it was even more difficult than I thought. So here we go with number 10. Number 10 is The Legend of Tarzan. This movie, I was kind of iffy about it at first. And then I saw the trailer. I was like, holy shit, this movie is going to be insane. The dark tone. It was like Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I'm a little bit worried about this movie, but I am going to see it like that because I love Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I love Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And I love Tarzan growing up, even not the George of the Jungle bullshit. The cartoon, the live action movies, just terrible. And it had a good premise in it, just being raised by, apes. Not everything is going to be all goofy. I like some dark movies, and I just like seeing the dark tone to this because there was a goofy tone. It was shit. Number 9, X-Men Apocalypse. This would be higher on the list, but the reason why it's so low is because I loved X-Men Days of Future Past. But the main problem I have with this movie, I know, don't hate me, is the look of Apocalypse, and that's not just the main reason, guys. People staying on the same project end up failing eventually. No one's going to be 10 for 10 for 10 for 10 for 10. There's no such thing like that. And I have too many fears for this movie. That's why it's so low on the list. I fear that this is going to be Bryan Singer's mess up. He's been how many movies? This is his 4th movie. There's no such thing as good. Look what happened with Christopher Nolan, my favorite director of all time. The first 2 Batman films I thought were masterpieces. The 3rd one I loved still, but it was a huge downfall. And same thing with many other directors. Joss Whedon. I loved the first Avengers. I liked the second Avengers. What happened? He couldn't create a lot of creative ideas because he's been on the same project for 6 years. Yes, he only made 2 movies, but 6 years on the same thing. It will drain you. That's why it's so low on the list. Number 8, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is a prequel to Harry Potter. I used to not like Harry Potter as a kid. I was like, how the hell can you get into this bullshit? Like, how? My grandma, my brother were huge nerds on this growing up. I'm like, I'll watch it. I watched almost everyone in the theaters. I remember watching the 3rd one in theaters. I remember watching these films growing up, and then they started getting better and better. After the 4th one, I was like, wow, this series is going to be actually amazing. And then it got better and better and better. And then after 7 part 2, I'm like, I want more. I don't want this to end. And then that's where Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them comes in. That's why it's at number 8. Number 7, Assassin's Creed. This is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, not including Ratchet and Clank. Ugh, please don't suck.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
This movie is going to be one of I think there's 3 game adaptations coming out this year. This year is going to have a huge identification of movies in the future. Is superheroes going to continue to rise, or will superheroes stop their growth and stay still for a little bit while video game movies rise? Because if Assassin's Creed sucks, World of Warcraft sucks, and Ratchet and Clank, the trailer's bad.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
But if those 3 movies suck, you're not going to see video game movies in a while. That's why I'm kind of nervous, but I'm super excited to see this movie because it's my favorite video game franchise of all time. That's why it's at number 7. Number 6, Batman v Superman. Yes, again, it's low in the list. It used to be my most anticipated film of 2016, but then it dropped. It drastically dropped. Don't hate me, guys. I got some hate for my opinion. So did my friends who have YouTube channels. They got some hate. This is so low because I don't like the look of Doomsday. Give or take, I didn't like the look of Quicksilver in Days of Future Past, but he ended up being one of the best parts. This is just based off what I know. And I feel like I know the entire movie, and I'm not liking that I know the entire movie based off of 2 trailers. That's why it's so low on the list. Don't get your pitchforks and, don't get nothing like that, please. In fact, bring me money, because I would actually prefer that instead. That's why it's at number 6. Number 5, Number 5 is Doctor Strange, and this is going to be a very interesting film because not only is it a Marvel film, not only that, it's going to be a horror film. Like, not like jump scares or anything like that, not a lot of gore. It's going to be a freaky film. So you know, traditional horror fans out there, you're going to be upset, but this is an actual horror film where it's going to deal with witches and demons and magic and all that other shit, and it's going to get really freaky in this movie. It's going to be the first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to actually introduce pure magic. Yes, we got that with Scarlet Witch, but they didn't really focus on that because they said it was drugs that gave her that power. Pills! But this one's going to actually focus on magic. That's why it's on number 5. Number 4, The Mark with a Mouth, Deadpool. I can't wait to see this movie. It's just getting better and better and better. I didn't really adore the second one, but I did love it. I loved the first one better. It's wrapping up to being one of my most anticipated films of the year. That's why it's so high on the list, because it's so exciting. It's got a lot of action. My one fear is that they're going to abuse the cursing. Like, you know, like just say F this, F that, F this, F that.
There's no call for that kind of language, laddie.
And I fear that that's what's going to be. But I trust the team, because when you have a low budget and you're strict and then you're on like watch 24/7, you are going to be as careful as you can be, but still have a lot of creativity around you with your team. That's why it's at number 4. Number 3, Suicide Squad. I did not even think a DC movie could make it in my top 3, except for Batman v Superman. This movie is looking intense, dark. It was serious. It was gruesome. But my one fear for this movie is Will Smith. And Will Smith is known to be the charismatic guy. And I hope they don't pull the bullshit card that these are actually good people, but blah blah freaking blah. You can add good elements to these guys, but they are villains. Let them be villains. It's like trying to make us like the Joker. You can't like the Joker. You can like him as a character, but you can't like him like you want to hang out with them. You don't. Because, you know, Deadshot's supposed to be killing people. You can't like the Joker because he's going to torture Harley Quinn. So I fear that's what's going to happen. But I feel that that's what's going to happen. I feel that they're going to have a lot of problems, and it's going to be very dark. I just hope it's not too dark where I feel like I need to... That's why it's at number 3. Number 2... Captain America Civil War. I've been waiting for a movie like this for the longest time. Since the Avengers came out, I'm like, what's my next anticipated film? What do I want to see on the screen? I said, Civil War. I've been like geeking out with my friends. Yes, I have friends. And I've been geeking out with them. Like, yo, would it be sick to see a Civil War? And they're like, yeah, but it's not going to happen. I'm like, true, because they don't have the characters. But they're going to manage to do it. And my only fear, yes, I have to share my fears about each and every movie. My one fear is that they're going to be too friendly, too like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But I feel this trailer did a good job at making it feel like there is going to be stakes. But the other team members, like Black Panther, he's just a neutral. He's going to be like, hey, I don't know you guys, but hey. I feel like Falcon is going to just be buddies with Captain America. He's there wherever he goes. So I feel like the only team members that are going to be really tense are going to be Falcon and War Machine. I feel like they're going to be the only two that are going to be really intense, but like people like Hawkeye, Black Widow, I feel like those other characters that are joining, I feel like they're just going to be like, hey, I agree with them. So they're going to slowly go to the side without even drastically showing their emotions. That's why it's at number 2. Number 1, this movie would not be on my list at all. Maybe at 11, maybe at 12, but this movie would not be on my list if it weren't for the previous movie that just came out. Star Wars Rogue One. I loved the Star Wars The Force Awakens revived the Star Wars franchise, and it actually made me a true Star Wars fan, and I just loved it. I loved it, and I hope you guys loved it, and that's why I'm looking forward to this movie, and this movie is going to be different from all the other ones. It's going to actually focus during between 3 and between 4. It's going to be with the Rebels stealing the Death Star plans, and yes, that's how the 4th one, A New Hope, opens up. It opened up with Darth Vader just choking at some rebel out. He's like, well, all the plans, and that's why it's so high on the list, because I'm just coming off the Star Wars The Force Awakens, damn it. It's my favorite film of the year, and you could see that in my previous video. This movie is going to be a war film, and it's going to be dark. Not too dark where it's not a Star Wars film, but it's going to be a war film. So I wanted to see if it's going to be like a World War II war film ish. I know it's in the future, but I'm talking about like the like it's gonna be PG-13. I'm gonna be a little bit upset about that, but like if they make it rated R, I'm camping out. I'm camping out. You just sold me. Don't make a trailer. Just say it's rated R and it's gonna be a true war film. But if it's PG-13, let's see some blood. Let's see some dramatic experiences with these like rebels. I want to see how these rebels are feeling. I want to see a team like Fury or Inglorious Bastards. Not like Inglorious Bastards, but I'm just like having a team together and they become friends. They become like family. That's why I want to see family. So that's my top 10 anticipated films of 2016. I want to hear your list down below. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, and all that crap. Later and goodbye.